Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is MORGANNFLOWERS, and as you guys can see from the title, we're doing a very basic, simple, quick makeup routine. Very simple. This is kind of like my everyday look. I hope you guys like it. Everything will be linked below, and I will see you guys at the end. Let's jump right into it. We're gonna make this video short and sweet. I do feel like with TikTok and everything, short form videos have just taken over, child. Every once in a while, you gotta throw in a long form version of something that you just want to see, right? Like every once in a while. So I'm gonna move you guys in a little bit closer and let's get started on a very basic, simple makeup routine. Let's get into it. Gotta push my scarf back a little bit. My mirror is over here, so if you see me looking that way, that's why. Ignore the bed squeaking because I need a new mattress at this point. But let's first, I usually start off with primer, of course. I do like to use the Myricks Yummy Skin Powder Serum. It's so good, especially if you do have like a what you call the skin? Like oily skin. I have an oily T-zone. So this is created to mattify, and I think it works pretty well. I'll have all the products, of course, linked below. This doesn't look like it's focused. Oh, maybe. I think because of the sun, it gives a little bit of a glare. But I really love this. It's something that I've been using for some time now. I will say it was sold out for a period of time. Like I remember seeing girls on TikTok like, oh, I can't get it. I haven't gotten it. Da 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 da. But I got this when it first, like not when it first came out, but closer to it when it came out. So I was able to snag it kind of early. Just really wanting to support Myricks. I'm still holding it. But really wanting to support Myricks. I feel like it's such a great brand in general. What I will say really quickly, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have sunscreen on. So the product is kind of like blending in with the sunscreen. And you do want to be cautious about that because you don't want the white cast to just start to appear. And I think that sometimes when you put on a serum directly after your sunscreen, it does create a little bit of a mixture. But I would say I put that sunscreen on maybe like 15 minutes ago. So it just settled right back into the skin. So if you do see a little bit of whiteness start to come up, I think it's okay, you know. I've been saying in my vlog, I've been feeling a little bit of a breakout, just ever so slightly. So I'm gonna like take it easy. And I think also my routine is perfect for that too, because I don't do a whole lot. Like this is foundationless, you know. So I think it does allow me to take a break from my skin because I'm not putting so much product on it. You know what I mean? I am putting a little makeup on. I am going to do some concealer, but it isn't like, it doesn't feel as cakey on my skin. It doesn't feel as heavy. So that's just my thing. Now onto the next order of business. I do move into eyebrows next. This is just the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze, and accompanied by the paddle brush that they have. So I love using these two in combination. I literally got my eyebrow routine from Tony Bravo right now. Like she doesn't fill in her eyebrows. She literally just freezes them and then put concealer under them. And I feel like that's very simple for me. Like that's perfect because my brows, I like a natural brow for the most part. So I really don't need a whole lot going on. I feel like I should move y'all a little bit closer. What do y'all think? Maybe a little bit closer. But I do want you guys to be able to see my whole face though at the same time, so. But I'm literally just brushing up. I don't like, it's really just a super simple eyebrow routine. Brush up, of course, to the sides, you go down. Y'all already know how to do, for the most part, y'all probably know how to do your own brows. And I think it's also, like I think makeup is beautiful too because it's so many different routines that you can adopt. So many different techniques that you can just pull from different people, some of your favorite creatives, or some of your favorite makeup girlies, and then create your own routine that works for your skin type, that works for your skin issues, whether you have acne or whether maybe you're struggling with dark marks, as I am. Like I'm still trying to get my skin texture together. So, you know, you just kind of like pull from different people, but you still create your own concoction of makeup routine. Eyebrows, very simple. So again, that was the brow freeze. Now I'm gonna go in and just like fill in under my brows. Coffee break. I bought these little heart straws. You see the little heart? How cute is that? So to conceal, I do like to use the Too Faced concealer. It's just been in my routine for so long now, so this is what I use just for under my eyebrows. I don't use it for under my eyes. It's literally just eyebrows for me, and this is in the color Chestnut. Literally have had it for ages at this point. I like to use a little slanted brush, and I think that I like to use the very like tip, the very like corner of it in order to get in. I know some people use the flat side, like they go like this, but I use the point of it and That is, again, my own little technique that I've adopted over the years. Literally just put the concealer on the point of it. And I hope it's focused. Like, I feel like it's acting funny. Like, it want to be focused on me so bad. Like, please. So I usually just do like a little one too. I don't stretch my brow too much because I still like for it to, like, I don't want to disrupt the shape of my brow too much. I don't want to make it like art. Like, I'm not adding an arch or anything of the sort. I literally just go under and then I'll just do the tail for the top. Like, I don't do all up here for my eyebrows. I literally just do this and call it a day. Like, I feel like that gives it the perfect amount of like dimension, like not dimension, but it just gives it something, but like not too much. And then for me, they are concealed. Of course, I didn't blend out yet, but just a little tail, call it a day. And honestly, this part goes into what I was saying about how you just pull from different people and then create your own routine, because Tony Bravo does this too, but she does her full eyebrow. Like, she highlights from the brow bone, like all the way throughout the brow bone, and I just do like the tail. So again, I'm taking a part of her routine and just kind of like creating my own. So it's just kind of like the beauty of makeup, you know. And I will say that I have finally finalized my look. Like, what I do every single time, I use the same products. I literally have a bag. Where's my bag? This bag right here. I literally just keep all my regular makeup supplies in instead of using my big like tote of makeup. I literally don't even touch the rest of my makeup anymore. I literally just use whatever I have in that bag, and it's a perfect face for me. So finding your groove, that's what it is. And I like to blend it out with a flat brush. Literally just kind of blending it down onto my lid and out, like just kind of continuously like brushing it towards the tail of my brow, but also down at the same time. So, and for the top, it's literally the same thing. I just kind of brush it down. Y'all, I literally just painted my nails because I was like, oh, my nails look a mess. I can't do this video with my nails looking like that, girl. So I had to repaint my nails real quick, and then I was like, all right, let's get into the video. So I'm going to continue blending this out, and then I'm going to show you guys what I do after I blend with the flat brush, so that I like pretty much ensure that they are blended out. So in between my makeup, I do take a paper towel and I literally like wipe the brush on the paper towel. I swear I be doing something, but I do like to like just take some of the makeup off. I mean, of course it's not a wash, but I like to do it that way so that I feel like I'm not, the makeup isn't too caked on the brush. Like, another thing that I do, I use my fingers now. This kind of, I'm channeling my inner Danessa Myricks too, because she likes to do her makeup with her fingers. If you guys have ever seen her live videos or seen her do makeup, she does use her fingers a lot, because it's like, it is a tool. Like, your hands are literally a tool, and I feel like you really do get a good blend, a good extra blend. Like, this is the second step to my blending, because I feel like your fingers can just kind of get in there a little bit extra, you know. So again, I just try to make sure that everything is blended out. I'm going to do the other side, of course. Get all up here, because that's where the makeup be. It be all at the top. Okay, and then my last eyebrow step, I take that same paper towel and I just pat over my eyebrows. I don't move it, I just pat like this, just to grab up some extra concealer that I missed. And I guarantee you there's going to be some on this paper towel. Yep, look. Y'all see that? So I think the eyebrows are pretty blended out. I think that they're perfect for me. Now let's move on. Now the next thing that I like to do is conceal. I will be using the Hourglass. I have a little mini, and this is in teak. This is very, and I think also because I use so little of it, it's really why I haven't run out of it yet. So I literally just do inner corner like this. Boom. Inner corner, swipe. And that's all I do for concealer. It gets the job done. I will say a little goes a long way with this concealer specifically, because I feel like when you blend it out, it's gonna look like you put it all over your eye. Like, you really do not need a lot of this Hourglass concealer. Now, I don't blend out immediately. I just move on to my Say bronzer that's upside down. This is the Say bronzer in Deep Bronze. I will say that, you know, if you guys have been on TikTok and you see the makeup brands getting dragged about, you know, their inclusivity, I will say I think this is the darkest one, which it's really not that dark, if we're being honest. I have to check again to see if they put a darker one on there, but this is really not that dark. Like, when I use it, it's fine for me, but like, if y'all can even see it for real, like, it's not that dark. I feel like girls of lighter complexions probably also use this one too to create a more dramatic look. But since I don't do, like, I'm not crazy about the contour, so like I don't really, you know, this is enough for me. But I do wish that they had a darker color. This is kind of more like a milky brown, but they could go darker when you really think about the product, like, you know. But I feel like I was watching someone's TikTok and they used the exact same color that I had, and they were like a whole different complexion. They were like way lighter than me, and I was like, that's what I use. Like, what do you mean you use that one? Like, what? But of course, the darker you go creates more of a dramatic look. And again, this is very basic, kind of like a natural, not no makeup because you can tell I had makeup on, but it's very like a chill everyday look for me. So now we're just gonna use my e.l.f. micro fine stay all night setting mist. I have a very little bit of it left, which is fine. I do need to get some more, but I don't use this one for throughout my entire makeup routine. So this is just going to be like a couple spritz, and then I'll use a different one at the end. So, and you want to spray before using your powder. I do find that if you try to spray something like that after you bake, it makes it splotchy. It just messes up the powder completely. So I always do this first, let the creams kind of dry down, do their little thug thizzle, and then come back and use a different spray after your makeup is completed. So we're just gonna let it dry for a little bit. As you guys can see, my face still look kind of wet, so we're gonna let that dry a second. I have seen some girls leave their concealer on for a very long time. I don't leave it on for that long. I do blend out the contour at first, and then I go in and do the concealer. But like, this concealer is kind of thick, honestly. So like again, like I said, you're gonna look covered when you blend it out. So I don't need to let it sit for like too long, because it's gonna be there regardless. You know what I mean? It's gonna be there, no worries. To blend out, I do use the Refi brush. I honestly don't use this side because this side gives me foundation vibes, and I don't use foundation. So like, I mean, I have used this side before, but you guys can see it's clean. This is the side that I stick to for blending out the contour. And if you guys can see, I'm just kind of going in like an upwards brushing motion, and just kind of going up the side of my face just to give it more, you know, so that it's like creating that contoured effect. I don't brush down or anything. I do think that naturally I kind of have like a little, not a line naturally, but like sometimes in my pictures I can tell that like even if I don't contour, I have like a kind of like a, not a line, I don't want to say it's a line on my cheekbone, but I can tell where I should be contouring. And then forehead, I just kind of give it a little bit of a tap, just kind of back and forth, blending it out. And I love the cream bronzer because it just blends out so well. Like, it's so buttery. Can you guys see that? Again, that color, I guess I could use a darker shade technically. I'm pretty sure like NARS has something, because we love NARS over here. Okay, let's move on to blending out the concealer. I do 3 different, well, really it's been 2 blends lately because I haven't been using beauty blenders, but beauty blenders will typically be my 3rd blend. So let's use 2 different brushes to blend out the concealer. So for the first blend, I love using the Sephora 71 brush. It's a little dirty right now. I do need to wash my brushes, but as you guys can see, it has kind of like a flat end side. I'm gonna go like this instead. So like, it's kind of like, it has like a flat feature on the side. It's kind of wide, but it's still flat. So I love this brush for blending out concealer. It is considered a concealer brush, so it's literally designed for this. And I think that it gets into the corners pretty well. It's like wide, but it's not too wide to the point where you're struggling to get the inner corner of your eyes. So again, it's gonna look like it's gonna apply thick. Like, I feel like, again, this concealer is really like a good concealer. Because you gonna tell I have on concealer. Sometimes I take it up to the sides of my nose if I just feel like it, but for the most part I don't take it up too far, but I still get the side of my nose. And then I blend this corner, I blend it kind of upwards in an upwards motion. I have seen some girls do their blush before they blend out, but honestly I've gotten into the habit of blending out my concealer and then putting blush on, so that's just kind of like my little routine. but I think it works pretty well because y'all know like blush be the first to go. When your makeup is fading throughout the day, that blush is gonna be the first one to start to disappear and fade away. So I just don't need to apply it too early. I kind of just put it on towards the end of my makeup routine. So as you guys can see that I have the concealer all blended out on this side. So let's move on. Again, I do this, I go over it 2 to 3 times. Again, I don't have a beauty blender right now, but if I did have a beauty blender, I would blend out 3 times. So see how it's blending out. And I do think it's a pretty good color. It kind of has like an olive type of vibe to it. And my other favorite concealer that I have is from elf, and it does have an olive. It's in deep olive. So I do like this color on me. I don't necessarily know my undertones to say like, oh, okay, I have a red undertone and this is what I use and it's neutral. And girl, I don't know. I just like what I like, you know? Or I just kind of know what looks good. And sometimes it's really just experimenting. If you don't know your own undertones and stuff, you really just have to try different things and see what makeup look you enjoyed. Documenting it too, because sometimes you may forget what products you used, but in order to find your favorite face, I think that it's important to like make note of what you're using so that you can tell for the future. So, you know, it's like I would never step out of the house like this. It does need a second look over. It does need a second blend, which is why I do multiple different brushes and techniques. Now I am gonna use my paper towel and wipe some of that off just so I feel better about myself, even though I do need to just go ahead and wash them. But so the next brush I use just kind of have like more of a circular vibe to it, and I'm literally just using this brush to kind of just tap into the concealer. So I just continue to tap, blend out, tap, in a similar way as I was doing the other one, but just not as precise. Like I'm just kind of going over the areas, going over the edges, trying to like smooth them out a little bit, because I don't want that harsh concealer look. I will say though, after I add like my blush and after I do baking and stuff, it doesn't look as harsh. Like the concealer starts to tone down after I've added makeup on top. But try to blend out as best as I can. For the most part, I don't really go in between my eyebrows. I used to just kind of add something up here, but honestly, for a simple face, I just keep it simple. Like literally, like I don't do much of nothing else, and I like it that way. So I try to stay above where I put the contour. The contour is like here, so I try not to go too far down into that. Just try to keep it in the under eye area, even though like I feel like when you're blending out, you may be tempted to kind of like blend it out, but just tapping will get the makeup up and blend it in. But we can now move on to the blush. I love this blush. It's a liquid blush from NARS in Insatiable. Such a pretty like berry color. Let me show you. Such a pretty berry color. Like look at that. It's just so gorgeous, and you literally don't need that much. I like to place it here and then I blend out again with my finger, because, well, I do 2 blending methods. I do my finger and then I use a brush afterwards. So I just like to tap in a circular motion and then bring it up the side of my face. So I kind of bring it up here like this, like so. And I feel like it always ends up being the perfect amount of blush. Like, let me show you the other side. And I feel like it is a buildable product, so if you do want more of an extra blush vibe, then you can of course add some more. Sometimes what I do is I also tap my nose just to give my nose a little bit of blush, a very little bit, and again circular, and then I just kind of take it up. And I think that once you start adding stuff over top of the concealer, it just starts to come together so well. I also have this slanted brush from Alleyoop, and it literally just has like a slant. As you guys can see, it's pink because I use this for my blush, but I just give it an extra little bit of a blend so that again, just ensuring that everything is all together, everything is good, and that be that. Now for the next step, we are going to do the one, well, as a matter of fact, I actually like to spray in between, like I said, before I put the powder on. So let me spray one more time, let the product settle a little bit, and then we'll move on to the actual powder. Now this time around, I'm actually going to use this from the Lip Bar It's called Next to Skin Setting Spray, and this was gifted to me in PR. But I have been using this, just again, I'm running out of the e.l.f. one, and also just kind of like a middle setting spray. Some people use multiple setting sprays at one time. I'm just going to use this one and then use a different one for my last one. So let's spray. 1 second. Refreshing. It's always so refreshing. Now for powder, I like to use the One Size in Ultra Pink. It doesn't really come like, it's pink, but like not to the point where it will ruin your makeup, or it'll just be too extra, or like, I think it's the perfect pink. I literally just tap, and then I tap some of my hands so that it isn't too much product. I know some people do very little of the powder. I think I do I think I do like a medium amount. I don't do a whole lot, but I don't put like a little bit. I don't dust it on to the point where you can't even see that I put it on. I do like to bring it up the sides of my nose, like pretty much here. And I do think that the powder helps to mattify too. As you guys can see, I don't look how shiny my forehead looks. And then I just give myself, I kind of bring it down my nose too sometimes, just because I do feel like it tones me down a little bit. And even though I didn't put like concealer over here, I do go like this, kind of for the illusion of a contour. So I go like that just for like the illusion, so it looks like I put something there, but like I really didn't. But as you guys can see, like, look how mattified everything looks already, and I didn't even brush it off yet. So that's my jam. I know some people do it on they add it to their eyebrows, because your eyebrow area can get oily, greasy looking, especially if you use certain products like that brow gel. I do think that it can create kind of like a greasy look. So if you want to tap over your brows, I guess you can. It's not something that I typically do, but again, it does take away the shine, so I ain't complaining. I don't let it set for too long. I kind of just, because I feel like my face is fine if it's not, it doesn't have to set for 10 minutes for me to like the results. So I do use the Sephora Micro Smooth, and this is in Toffee, right? Did I lie? It is. I be trying to remember what the names are, but this is in Toffee. I do think that I did hear that they were rebranding this particular product, so I'm still going to link it to see if they have, I think they have like some colors. And then I love to use it in combination with the Sephora 50 brush, right? It's so pretty and fluffy. Like, this is my favorite brush ever. And I literally just do like this, and I kind of just start with over here, like the place where I applied the illusion powder, and just kind of like wipe it away. You see how it still kind of leaves like kind of like a line? So I think that it leaves like an illusion that I put something that I like have more of a contour than I actually do. Wipe away under eye, tap, tap, tap. Get that. And I think it starts to come together. Like, this is how it's supposed to look. yeah, this is what I like. So for mascara, I love to use this Lancome. I want to say it's Monsieur. Like, the way it's, since it gives me like a French vibe. I don't know if you guys can tell the name on there, but it kind of, I feel like that's what it's called. Like, I just feel like that's what it's called. But this is my favorite mascara. It looks so good. Like, my lashes be like, yes, by the time I'm done. And I only do one coat. I can never understand how girls do multiple coats. Like, after a while, like, you put the coat on and then you come back to the lash. Like, the lashes be hard by then. How do y'all be going back in with more, or like a second mascara or something? Like, my lashes be like, girl, that is enough. But y'all see it already. Like, now my lashes are already kind of like naturally on the longer side, so I do think that they do kind of pop because of that in general. But this is an enhancer for sure. Like, my lashes be loving it. Okay, let's move on to the spray, the last couple steps of the routine. The spray, of course, is the One Size, like, iconic. Refreshing. And the face has been completed. I did use the Refi lip liner in Sepia, and then I used the Sephora gloss, and this is in Cream of the Crop Top. So these two are my lip combos. Very cute, very chill. It's kind of like a pinky brown situation, and that's it. That's pretty much the face. We're gonna run some errands. I will be vlogging, so Y'all will see what I'm doing if you watch the vlog. Okay, bye. Love you guys. Double text got me out of my element. I don't want to feel like I'm settling. Double